Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Babylon 5. This is season 5. This is episode number 1. This episode is called No Compromises. The last time I watched this was a while ago actually, and we watched in the beginning and I loved it. I thought it was absolutely amazing to see insight into John prior to the station, Delenn in more detail because we had snippets when she went into the dreaming and saw the start and the evolution of what became the Earthman-Barry War. And we got Kosh back. We got both Koshes back, which was something that I never expected that we would ever see. And then we obviously had Jeff, and then bringing Jeff on board and discovering his soul. And I just thought it was one of my favourite things I've watched of this actually so far. And that's saying a lot because I adore this. Like, I adore this beyond words. So to see that this, happened just completely made my day. With this being called No Compromises, that's an interesting title. We haven't really had the opportunity to delve more into what John and Michael's relationship's going to be like now that everything got to the point where the last episode of season 4 we had insight into futures and we saw the holograms and we saw an older Delenn and we had stories and we saw the monks and the rangers. So I'm wondering if we delve more into that. I'm wondering what the compromises possibly were that were put forward in this, because obviously I'm assuming that something's said to John maybe and he's like, no, I'm not doing that. So I'm really looking forward to watching this. As always, I'll probably skip the credits for a couple of episodes because sometimes they are spoilery, but I'm just going to get on into this. Let's go.
Captain Lockley, Lieutenant David Corwin at your service.
Lieutenant? I thought I was going to be met by the entire command staff.
Zach Allen is our new chief of security these days.
Yeah.
He's up to his ears helping Zach get ready for Sheridan's inauguration as president of the new alliance. And Dr. Franklin had an emergency in Med Lab.
Lieutenant, is it always like this around here?
Yeah.
No? Well, actually, yes.
I know that name.
It's hectic, ma'am.
Well, a hectic station is the first sign of a poorly run station.
We've heard that name before, locally.
I've got everyone standing by in CNC waiting to meet you as soon as you're settled in.
Where are we going?
I just want you to know it's nothing personal. But I need to send a message to Babylon 5. That's what you Rangers are for, right? Carrying messages from one place to another.
Shit, they're not the
You're
post.
the right person in the right place at the right time.
Oh god, this is going to be bad, isn't it? Oh no.
Oh, almost forgot. Any final words? We live for the one. We die for the one.
He kept the beard and I'm really sad. I preferred the other
Sheridan,
beard.
go.
Captain Lockley's aboard, sir. We just got her settled in.
Good. Have her meet me in my office in 20 minutes.
Lockley?
Ivanova's replacement.
Mr. President, I assume you've received my orders from Earthdome.
I have. The orders have been authenticated.
Does he know her
Effective this date,
from
you have full and complete authority
when
in
he
running
was
Babylon
in
5.
Earth Force?
The station is under your direct command. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions about the arrangement?
This is awkward.
Yes, sir. It's my understanding that Babylon 5 is to remain an independent state pending decision by the Alliance to formally buy it from Earth.
Just give it to Zach.
Then why bring in someone from Earth Force to run things?
Yeah.
Why not someone else.
That's a good point.
We're still trying to heal the wounds from the Civil War back home.
That was very Jeff.
Putting someone from Earth Force in charge of B5 will help cement us with the folks back there. That's why I wanted to make sure you got here before we started this silly inauguration business.
One of the compromises, I guess.
In a way, it's saying we're independent, but we'll always remember where we came from.
I hear you asked for me in particular. Why?
Why indeed?
You have handled a number of potentially dangerous missions without resorting to force. You're good with diplomacy when possible, but you know how to fight when you have to.
When possible.
And you speak your mind. I chose you strictly on your background. You are the perfect choice.
If I'm to carry the responsibility, I want the authority to go with it.
If it's a political decision or a decision on behalf of the Alliance,
It's his.
that's my turf. The rest is yours.
Captain, you better get down to Bay 3. There's something here you should see.
Ah,
On
shit.
my way. I've got
I know, believe me, I handled a few of those myself when I was captain here.
I like that Corwin
We'll talk again
is
later.
still here, though. Like, he never went onto the Warlock ship
Sir.
with Susan.
I noticed you didn't ask me which side I was on during the big fight back home.
Ah, F's,
You're right, I
probably.
He's definitely a ranger. He was in a commercial stasis bubble when we picked him up.
I just love
He
how
didn't die
everyone
from
just
exposure
like,
to space.
because
see.
of
You
last
might not want
season, is just like, oh, there's these Rangers. Everyone knows them now.
He had this around him when he was found.
Ah, yeah. Oh. At least it was polite. Dude. Oh, that's weird.
Hello, my name is Byron. It's important that you meet me in Brown 3 in 2 hours. Come alone.
Why?
Why should I do that?
My people are coming.
Ah, that is, Mr. President. You're up late.
I was thinking about that book you're writing. I've already heard several of your people quoting it, and
He wants to
Mr.
read
Garibaldi
it.
says it's very well written.
Well, I'm sorry, there's just the one copy for now, and, well,
I
when I
w-
loaned it to Mr. Garibaldi, he came
Did they
back
ever
with
publish
awful
this? Because I would
things.
love to read it.
No, that's all right, don't worry. That's not why I'm here. I was going over the swearing-in ceremony that we've got coming up, and there are two things we still don't have. An oath of office, and for lack of a better term, a declaration of principles for the new alliance. Now, this kind of job is going to require a very special kind of writing. Many times...
He wants Jakarta to write it?
Tremendous eloquence in the council chambers.
Yes!
When your world fell to the Centauri, the words you spoke made the hair on the back of my neck stand up.
He does that every time
So-
he speaks.
I would like you to write the oath and the declaration of principles.
Flattered. Also terrified that this is a great responsibility.
Terrified.
I know, but I can't think of anyone more suited to the job.
So what killed him?
A single shot from a PPG at close range directly to the heart. But main bot records indicate that the body wasn't out in space more than 6 or 7 hours before it was found.
Meaning he was killed elsewhere and then dumped outside.
Yes.
That's correct.
I'm sure this is the same spot where Via went with the techno majors. Like the same corridor. Oh, shit.
Thank you for coming.
I came because your little performance earlier was pretty clear indication that you're a telepath. A strong one, therefore potentially dangerous, which is why I didn't come alone.
Oh, how did they not see those guys, though? Because they came from the
unarmed.
same place.
And I assure you, we mean you no harm.
So what do you want?
A place to call home.
Play waiting messages.
I bet this just
Stand
doesn't
by.
stop for him
Text
now.
Message number 1.
Oh, yeah, not really something you want to come home to.
Voice message number 2.
Hello, Sheridan. I know that you're supposed to be a big history buff. I know that you're a fan of President Lincoln. Did you know that he was sure that he would die in office? That as president, he had to pay the price for the lives of all the soldiers who died fighting his war?
Oh, shit. I think it is
It is
someone
the
out
job
with...
of a president to pay the
revenge,
price
isn't it?
for his people
I think this dude worked
and
for
his
Clark.
decisions.
Oh. This is not going to end well, is it? And he remembers everything he's seen as well. Oh.
You, John J. Sheridan.
Oh, shit, he had. Oh, he covered all bases, didn't he? Oh, yeah, he did.
His name's John Clemens, formerly Major Clemens. He ran the Beta 7 prison system under President Clark.
Oh,
Clark was kicked out of office, he went underground. This guy is wanted
So
for
that they
murder and
couldn't
torture
get
of
him, I
dissidents
guess.
on Beta 7 and elsewhere. If he shows his face anywhere in the Alliance, he's a dead man.
he did well to get here. Gee whiz. Oh, no, he's just like straight on. No. I was going to say the one person. Oh! Jakar literally just floored Delenn.
Or I'll kill her.
Oh, lady. Wrong place, wrong time, sadly.
Do you, John J. Sheridan?
Oh, that is actually quite terrifying. But cool.
Everybody else can go.
Oh, they are like, yeah, we're leaving. Oh,
If I were at that range, you're just as dead as I am.
That's okay by me. You ruined my life. Doesn't matter much to me either way. Just as long as you're dead.
what's Michael doing?
Goodbye, Sheridan.
Being safe, I can't hold him. Are we clear? All clear. Here he comes. Fire at will.
Oh,
You want to be president?
Yes,
Put your hand on the book and say I do.
I do.
Fine, done. Let's eat.
Captain Lockley informed me that you requested to start a small colony here. I assume she's told you her decision.
did she
She
say
told us
no?
no.
See, our arrangement is that I handle any political decisions that affect the Alliance in Babylon 5.
He's going to say yes.
I'm putting this decision in that category. You have my authority to start a colony here.
Where are they going to go?
We'll set aside part of Brown's sector. It's not much and it's not pretty. But it's a start.
Just curious.
He's going to ask.
Which side were you on during the big fight back home?
Earth's.
I was on the side of Earth, Mr. Garibaldi. Weren't we all?
This was unexpected. Seeing this lady, this Lockley, whose name I think appeared in the last episode of season 4 because it rang a bell when it was mentioned, basically become captain because John's president and Susan's on her warlock ship. So this lady's come to basically do John's job, and it's interesting because she's very rule book-esque. She seems like she will stick to those rules and it'll be very hard to get her to not follow procedure. Whereas we know everybody else kind of just interprets the rule book. That's what rule books are there for, right? Interpretation. And she just kind of seems very straight-laced in terms of that. And it's she will always stick to that. And we saw that when she turned down Byron for starting a small colony on the station. Whereas John was like, well, I'm gonna put that under my decision and you can start this small colony. It was interesting to see her and John talking because John had said it's nice to see you again. There seemed to be some kind of awkwardness in that initial meeting in his office, and then obviously it seems like Michael doesn't really trust her. She took John's side when John didn't want to cancel the inauguration, so that was an interesting thing to see. I am a little bit wary of her, if I'm being honest, mainly just because she clearly, from my interpretation of it, was on Clark's side and was probably on one of the ships or worked with people who were very pro-Clark and anti what John stands for, really. But John didn't seem to kind of mind that, and he kind of liked that she spoke her mind and that he didn't want to know her stance, whereas Michael did, because obviously Michael finds it hard to trust people. I'm with Michael on this. I'm with him completely. Seeing that we had this person who did work for Clark and also served with Lockley try and kill John because everything had fallen apart after John had liberated Earth was an interesting angle. I did think to myself, I wonder how long it takes before we get to the stage where people who were very pro-Clark try and get justice, what they deemed as justice for John's liberation. And to get it in the first episode wasn't something that I really expected. This season's going to be interesting. I do have to say, I said it earlier, but Stephen being the only one in his uniform through most of this, and then we've got brief aspects of Zach, it's really weird for me to see it because obviously I don't even know on Susan's warlock ship, would she still be wearing her uniform or no? What would she be wearing? I hope we get to find out because it's so strange seeing them on these different journeys now. And yeah, it's an odd thing. I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of this season though. It's going to be an interesting one because I thought this episode was actually quite enjoyable and it was a nice little opener. I'm going to sign off and say thank you, and I will see you guys later. So thank you.